The spool will need at least de-rusting and perhaps repainting at some point. It's pretty rusty in there. And that means taking at least one side off, and it's held together by these little tabs that those of us old enough to remember tin toys will know that you only get one try at opening those and closing them. If you have to do it twice, they break off. So I think I'll probably clean it the best I can while it's together, because I don't want to take it apart and then have a lot of work to do on that holding up the main machine, because I shall need this when I'm testing the projector properly with film. So that's the spool that came with the projector. Pretty sure that's very original. The nearest thing I have, because I do need two spools, the films don't come on spools, is this homemade one, which is just slightly smaller, and it has no keyway. Also, normally on a projector there will be a little lever that comes across here that stops the spools slipping off, and there isn't one on this, which I guess is because as you close the door of the projector, something there acted as a stop the film sliding off. So I have to have a little think about what I do about that. You'll remember the small oil reserves. I managed to get one of those open, and it is indeed a long piece of square section felt tied in there with a spring. So I've cleaned that out inside. The other one doesn't want to undo at the moment. I've managed to get it off all right, but it won't actually unscrew so I can get inside, but no doubt it will eventually. I've just been given this 110 volt out transformer by a very kind friend. Thank you, you know who you are. With funny flat sockets on it, but I've just hardwired in a single 110 volt out, connected it to the motor. I just switched on and nothing happened, and that's because I'd actually plugged in the soldering iron instead of the transformer. So I think I've got it right now. Let's see what's going to happen if I lean over to the main switch. Probably not worked in 80 years or 90 years, this motor. Let's see what happens. And there it goes. Now there's a phrase in the review of these series motors on Wikipedia, so it must be true, that says that they can, without a load, they can accelerate to destruction. Which sounds like fun. Hard hats and goggles for the audience maybe. So I'm not going to leave it on for very long, but it actually smells of electric. You won't be able to smell that, but what the ozone, train sets, smells of all of that. Anyway, I'm going to say that that's working and fix it to the machine. Well, the spool spindle widget thing is now provisionally fixed to the back there, just to see if I've got the thing in the right place. Compared with the mechanism, certainly plenty of spool clearance. Now, because of the way this works, the back spool goes there, and then the feed spool, I think it is, feed spool, goes on there. Now you can see it's wobbly, and that's not the spool, it's because this part of the spindle is thinner than the rear section. And what I think I need to do is get some sleeving, and I think it's 3/8, a quarter inch interior, and something like 3/8 exterior tube. I'll measure that properly, but I think that's what I need. So as you're threading the film, loading the film, you can just slip on the sleeve, and then the feed spool will slip nicely while this is being driven. I think that all makes some kind of sense. I've decided to have an inspection lamp, so I've used one of these old style porcelain mains bulb holders, bayonet. Now, there's been quite a lot going on since you last saw this. First of all, immediately behind the lamp on the back is now this little, tiny actually, computer fan. Now those LEDs don't get hot, but nothing like the kind of heat coming from the original projector lamp or even the halogen lamp. But I'm told that they do like to run cold, so, or you know, at a low temperature, so that should help. And on the overhang at the back, which I've now edged, we have that 110 volt transformer, wired up and tested, and also this, which is a sealed unit transformer that gives 12 volts, and that will supply that little computer fan. So the back of the machine here, or the far side if you like, will have most of the modern electronic gubbins. I might even move that LED driver over to this side, so all the new stuff is on the back. There's plenty of room for it there. I also found two of these rather nice old French light switches, which after a bit of plus gas were quite happy to click properly. I haven't tested them electrically yet, but I think they'll be fine. They're not that ancient, and they've still got their little paper insulating covers inside, just in case one of the wires happens to break away and touch the metal case. I might put some Kevlar under there as well. But I think they'll be okay, porcelain bases. So they'll look good for motor and lamp. Not sure about a switch for the inspection lamp yet, still working on that. Yes, I'm working on this, which is an old porcelain window latch fixing, or part of it, which will be the knob that controls the picture framing when it's fixed, with some decent looking screws, and I've got some filing to do around here, and actually that folds back when not in use, purely by coincidence, but it looks like it was designed to do that. And the other thing is the lens. Now originally, as the projector was, there was a screwed rod that went through here and out to the outside of the cabinet, where there was a knob to control the screw so that the lens could be screwed backwards and forwards. Well, we haven't got a front cabinet and we don't have the screwed rod anyway, so I put this cast iron piece, let's take that fixing tape away, as a focusing control. And the problem being that the lens is very loose, because it's intended to be screwed back and forth, and when it would have stayed where it was put, so it didn't need to be tight. So I had to put some tape on the side there just to stop it flopping about. But I'm going to have another look at that to refine that somewhat. But I thought this looked rather good. and that's all fixed up properly. So that's about it for now. Lots still happening.